This question comes from Euronews. They want to know, how does Donald Trump use his hands, his body? How does he use body language effectively or ineffectively when he gives a speech? Donald Trump is an interesting case from a public speaking standpoint. At one level, he obviously does many things well because he destroyed 16 other career politicians, went from nowhere and won the Republican nomination. And it wasn't because he spent the most on advertising, he spent the least. So he clearly does something well. To me, he's a mixed bag of communication strengths and minuses. When you look at his body language, most important thing is he moves. He moves his hands, he moves his body, he leans in. There's constant movement. Confident people do that. Scared speakers, scared politicians either stand too erect, they grab lecterns, they put their hands in their pockets, they clasp them together, they put them behind their back. Donald Trump doesn't do that. And because of that, he looks very, very confident. He looks supremely authoritative, and that is a part of his brand. He's not afraid to point. He certainly gestures quite freely. It's not that significant, any one gesture, in my view. What is most significant is that his hands are moving anytime he speaks. When he's emphatic about something, especially when he's attacking, his hands are in motion. You certainly don't see his hands constrained by holding a script because he very rarely uses a script. And the rare occasion when he does, it's on a teleprompter, which is a good thing, I believe. You don't want to be holding scripts. Because of that, he just exudes so much more confidence and calm than a lot of other politicians. Now, where his body language traditionally has been weak is when he's up on a stage, he stays right behind the lectern. He doesn't move his feet that much. Now, in presidential politics, that is the norm. But before he ran for president, Donald Trump was often a keynote speaker at major conventions all over the world. And unlike most highly polished professional speakers, they roam around the stage. And I've seen him do this in person many times, he still wanted a lectern that he could stand behind, which to me signals a little bit of doubt, a little bit of insecurity. He's not completely comfortable. He likes the idea of having something to rest on, a little bit of protection, a barrier between him and the audience. Now again, when you're running for president, you've got a lot of microphones on the stand. That's the norm. It's rare for a politician running for president to be walking around on stage. Although for certain debates, certain venues, Bill Clinton did it very well in 1992. And Ted Cruz, when he was first entering the national scene at the Republican convention in 2012, walked around the stage in a masterful way. Overall, I give Donald Trump high marks on his body language because it's consistent with his brand. Completely confident, not in any way nervous or intimidated by anyone else. Related to what his body's doing is what is happening to his voice, though. Too often he yells and it makes his voice flat and monotone. That doesn't make him seem quite as confident. That can make him seem shrill at times, and also it can just not seem completely relaxed and easy on the ear. Too often, you saw this at his national convention speech, he's yelling. The extra volume can create more intensity, and it can show that you're more excited about something, but when you do it too consistently, it's a type of monotone, and that rubs some people the wrong way. I'm TJ Walker. Thanks for the question, and post your comments here. What do you think of the strengths and weaknesses of Donald Trump's body language?